don't accept.
We are back. It is Behind the Counter live here on Insane Games TV. Steve, Mike, and myself. I said that wrong last week. Did you notice that?
Did you?
I said live here. It's Dave, Dan, and Steve.
Wow.
I didn't even say Mike. We were back out of here. Behind the Counter podcast live on Insane Games TV. Monday, August 16th. Interesting couple of days over here at the store. Nice. The weather finally cooled down. It was hot and humid. It was a steamer for a couple of days here in upstate New York. But now I thought it cooled down. Steve came in and said it's
It was pretty hot out there when I last went out.
It's hot again?
When your dog was trolling me all over the parking lot.
He tends to be a troll when you're trying to take him out. That's what he does. But we got a lot of some stuff to go over here today. Still busy in the store, which is good. August is always in this area. We got a lot of people traveling, visiting the Saratoga racetrack. We have people visiting Lake George. College kids are out. So it's always busy. So it'll be interesting to see. Brings in a lot of trade-ins. Also sees a lot of stuff going out the door. Switch is coming in now on trade-in. A lot of cool. Steve got himself. Going with a Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, it didn't end well. I stripped the screw, and then
wow,
just kind of ended
what a
that.
rookie move.
To be fair, the screws were like caked in like some substance and like very hard to turn.
Yeah, it looked like it was in a with the screws. It looked like it was in a shed for like a year or so.
Yeah. But
So did it not work when it came in?
The screen turned on, just nothing on the screen.
So it doesn't work.
normally it just needs a clean or something of that nature.
Yeah.
If you get power at least, but the buttons were a little too messed up, so and we couldn't get inside. So
And
I
you
think-
need half the population of batteries to get that thing to turn on.
6 double A's, and I don't even think they last that long when you use them in there.
What's the thing that needs like 6D batteries?
Is it the Super Scope for the Super Nintendo or something?
Perhaps.
Something takes the big batteries. I'm trying to think of what it is. It's absurd. Well, oh well. So yeah, so the training's been pretty good. So are you gonna get into the field of repairs, Steve?
I think in time I will.
So what did we learn on this?
Don't strip the screws.
What did we do not to do that?
Not use a wrong size screwdriver bit.
At least he knows what he did. I wouldn't have opened it.
Like, I've taken apart my Switch before, and then my Joy-Con. The Joy-Con didn't end well, but I've taken the backplate off my Switch, no problem, multiple times.
The Joy-Con messed up for you.
Classic phone ringing in the middle of the show. Classic.
It was all good until I was putting it back together, and the button that you used to release the Joy-Con fell in. It was like, I opened it up and I broke it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, those ones are only on like a very small piece, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but speaking of Joy-Cons, do you hear the deal he got at Target?
What'd you get?
A pair of those Fortnite Joy-Cons for like $30.
They're
With
all like
tax.
Mm.
$70.
What color are those? What, green and purple or something?
Blue and yellow.
Is there anything wrong with those colors? Is that such bad colors to have?
It's pretty sick for $39. Shit.
And it comes with like in-game stuff, which I promptly used the code right when I got home.
Oh, nice. You throw down on some Fortnite still?
Oh yeah, a little more than I want to. Level 103 so far in the season, but
Hey,
People still playing the game?
oh yeah, a lot of people.
There's nothing wrong with that.
it'll never completely die.
No, well, I mean, PUBG completely died.
It probably still has its loyal core, I'd say.
Apex is getting a resurgence. I'm not quite sure why. That game should have been buried a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Alright, so what we doing a bet here? It's definitely... They're going to call a third time. How many? Are we going 3 or 4? This is the second time they've called.
We'll see, I guess.
I'd say it's gonna ring the third time, but he's gonna cut it halfway through.
Okay. We'll ring one more time. So we have a lot of cool stuff coming in and out of the store, which is always good. We got a convention we're looking at doing at the end of the year, end of the month. The Mid Hudson Comic Con. A good friend Sam Chase from the Saratoga Comic Con running that, so we're looking at getting stuff ready for that. So we got a lot of pops and shit ready for that. Back on the tour.
Yep.
So we gotta get the
It's
bus
been
going, get the van in, start loading everything up.
couple years now, I think,
When's the last one that we did?
since we've been to Comic-Con. Was it the last Saratoga one we went to? I feel like that's the last one we
I
went
think
to.
so.
Yeah.
But what year? What one was that? Was that?
2019.
Oh, it's been 2 years. Yikes! It's been that long since we've been to a Comic Con.
Yep. Pretty crazy.
Well, the next one that was supposed to come out like during the pandemic was that May, but everything shut down in March.
What a shame! What a shame. So so we're gonna be getting back on the Comic Con trail. So that'll be fun. We got the Mid Hudson Comic Con. I think Sam's doing like a Vermont Comic Con too, and obviously the crown jewel, the Saratoga Comic Con. So we got all those lined up. Really, at first we got those lined up. I think like August, October, November. So we almost got a Comic Con a month back on that train again. And hopefully everything stays good with COVID and he's allowed to do those. And it'd be good to go back out and see. But I don't know. A lot of people in one spot. Who knows what can happen? So right now the plan is to get that show back on the road with a Comic Con. So we're looking forward to that. So what we got here? So, what was it? Oh, Mike and I did. Mike and I went on a little field trip last week, Crossgates, and it's bittersweet when you go to Crossgates because it's one of those like you're getting we have such a great setup here in the mall. And we had that setup, this good setup, probably because there's really there's nothing really in the mall. I mean, not to say anything bad about them, but you go down to Crossgates, it's like a whole other world down there. You know, we stopped, we got Charlie's. You know, can you imagine Charlie's was in here? I would have that every single day.
That was very, very good.
Y'all didn't bring me up
Mike,
any.
You were struggling after. Mike was struggling
Yeah,
after.
Dan was like, all right, now let's go look around. Charlie's is like the last thing you do when you go to the mall. Dan wanted to go around and go shop and go up and down stairs and stuff after eating this massive cheesesteak.
We literally walked to Dick's and walked out. That is all we did after we went to Charlie's.
That was a lot of walking after eating a massive sandwich.
Now, was Dick's down at the end of the mall? Absolutely. It was a little bit of a walk, but we had to walk all the way from the food court down to Dick's, back out of Dick's to the car. We definitely went down a bit, but that mall is such a completely different atmosphere. Have you been there lately?
Yeah.
First off, let's start right with the Lego store. So I've always wanted to build a Lego city. It's been like my goal for like the longest time, probably 10 years now. I want to build a Lego city. It's a hobby. I think it'd be fun. You can collect the items and put in there. They have, on a financial standpoint, are they expensive? Yes, but they do have resale value. Down the road, you can get rid of them. Maybe get what you paid for them, if not, maybe more. Do collections not become more valuable?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so at the end of the day, it almost becomes an investment. But that's not the point of it. The point is to build a massive Lego city. And I've wanted to do this for so long. You know, I mean, I've been talking about it for like 10 years now. Like, I should have done this 10 years ago. And all I want to build is a Lego. I want to build this massive Lego city. I think it's a great stress reliever. It's a great calm hobby. I mean, do you not have hobbies?
We all have hobbies.
Yeah.
You can name a hobby you have.
Video games, pickleball, fishing, chilling.
Diecast collecting. Guitar. Video games.
There you go. So everyone has a hobby. I was building Legos in my spare room or garage or basement, wherever it is, building a massive city. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But price is a little absurd. We were walking down there. They had the Harry Potter Hogwarts castle, like the full castle. I'm talking everything.
Was cool.
It's not like the ones you buy the little pieces and you put. No, this was. I mean, it probably would be like this big. I got a measurement scale. It's based off some pictures. It's probably like this big of a castle, and it's a complete Hogwarts castle. $400. they definitely raised that bitch about $100 over the last couple of weeks or a month.
$400 is such an outrageous price for just
$400 for a Lego set.
Well, if you judge like the building of the Legos to like how video games are, I judge video games $1. You get $1 per every hour you play. 60 hours worth of good content, worth it. Or whoever you're playing with and stuff. Got 400 hours building it and playing with it and enjoying it, then it's worth it.
Would you follow that scale?
I guess that's a good point to make.
Do you feel like most games
Hours
60
per-
hours of pleasure?
Not most games. The good ones do.
But so wait a minute. So if you say an hour, $1 an hour,
Yes.
so you're saying it's gonna be 400 hours to build that Lego set?
Take quite a while with, well, building and enjoyment from it.
Maybe $10 an hour. You think I can build that in 2 days?
If that's all you did, was build it. I couldn't imagine it
Probably
taking
all I
long.
do.
No.
I mean, you get further. You got to build it as time goes on.
No.
You shouldn't be trying to like I'm gonna spend 10 hours a day building. Like, hour here, hour there. Time goes by fast when you're building Legos. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
First
it
off, I
does.
got quite the Lego collection already.
Do ya?
It's tucked away up in the garage at TJ and Kathy's. I got like police stations. I got fire stations. I got airports. I got a plethora of Legos ready to go. I can start a small city right off the bat. No questions asked.
Why haven't you? If you're so tempted.
I mean, maybe I will. Maybe I'll start bringing them in and start building them in here. Classic Lego, by the way.
Hell, you could probably get those like big totes and build a scale model of the store.
Be pretty sick.
That would be pretty interesting. Building an actual set, putting the little chairs in. And actually, it wouldn't be that bad.
It's
Build
a good
little
idea.
desk.
Little Lego
So-
people for all of us at their
So
sets.
Mike and I hatched a plan that I would get a part-time job there, one shift a week, because the employee discount is 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that? You get 50 fucking % off Legos if you work at Lego.
50% is wild.
That is outrageous.
The temptation for them to just not take it and sell it has to be extremely high. But
And I don't care what anyone says. I see grown men, including myself, walking in there, looking at Legos. Now, when we were in there, none of people were coming. First off, we walked in, there's like 8 employees right there blocking us. Like, are we allowed to walk in? Like, it's just like, excuse me. Were they not? Were they not?
There was.
absurdly
They had like this
blocking
little
us?
line of people right in front of the entry, and they were just like, "Hi, hey, how's it
Hi.
going?"
I'm like, good. Can we get through?
I was like, "Just want to check out the Legos, please." But
It was just like, I'm like, and then finally we kind of squeezed through there. And then like 8 more employees came out from the back. I'm like, these people don't need any more employees. Everyone's here taking advantage of the discount.
That discount's a lot bigger than when I worked at Subway, Price Shopper, and Five Guys combined.
It's outrageous, 50%. But then again, maybe they don't pay well, or maybe maybe you lose other perks. I don't know. But 50% is outrageous. Definitely worth getting one shift there a week. If I was building a Lego city, like I wouldn't commit to working there like just to do it. If I knew I was really gonna go, Dan, I'm gonna dive right into this Lego city idea. I want the 50%.
You got to be willing to do whatever they tell you to do
What
as
do
a
you mean?
peon there. You're not just going to walk in and call the shots. If they tell you to scrub the floors, then, scrub the Lego floors.
I feel like if I walk in there and I apply for a job, I won't be the low man on the totem pole.
And then they have all those little blocks around where people touch. You probably have to go through and sanitize each and every one.
I want to walk in and I want to be the guy that builds all the display sets.
Pretty
Mike
sure
is
that...
like, Mike in the car right back. He's like, there's probably some guy that's been dying to get that job for the longest time, just sitting in the back, just building these Legos. Can you imagine that, Steve?
Be a fun job.
You get paid to build Legos.
Might take the fun out of it, though, once
you
you're
mean?
forced to build it. You
true.
must build a certain amount of
I
blocks
just
per
spent 8
hour.
hours building Legos today. I don't feel like doing it when I get home. That's probably what they do when they get the people they're there just to get the benefits or okay, this guy just wants to buy them. We're gonna put him in the back, build them, so he no longer wants to build them anymore. That could be a strategy.
But at that point, you can buy all of them that you by during your work, and then when you quit, you could build them all together after the fact.
But they did say that there is a contract you can't resell them. So I wonder how that practice goes. Like, I mean, let's be honest with you. Let's say 5 years down the road, and I'm done with my Lego City, and I feel like trying to sell them. Am I not allowed to?
That's
Is
a
there a
good
certain
question.
amount of time that's got to pass? I may go through the interview process, Mike, just to see how far I get. They may be right on this guy, this fool. He's like, get the F out of here, pal.
I have a very extreme love for
We
Legos.
want real employees, not people for the discount. Like, they don't people that aren't there for the discount. That's probably how they have so many people working there. It's just for the discount. Every other business you walk around, you can't find people working there. They had 10 people working.
It's just a nice environment.
They probably have the contract for the Lego store online. I'll have to look into it.
Might be. So that was interesting. So Mike and I did our little, every 3 months we go down there and browse, get our what is that, triannual, quarterly
peek
Charlie's.
down at Crail. Yep.
Fantastic food. Fantastic. I had that down in Countryside Mall down in Florida every day for like a year. Absolutely.
I don't know about every day.
Oh, I had like every other day.
I'm just saying for myself.
As I would get when we go there, I get the regular. I usually get the big size. I don't know why I don't get the full size. I'm down there. I should be enjoying the full benefits of the chicken buffalo sandwich at Charlie's. It is an outstanding sandwich.
Poor Steve was starving when we got back. I had to sanitize the smell of the chicken off my hands.
I had my lunch. I had a Slim Jim and a Nesquik.
Pretty sophisticated snack though. Chocolate milk and a Slim Jim.
Hell yeah.
Nothing wrong
Can't
with
beat that.
All right, so yes, that was interesting. Fun trip down to Crossgates. Otherwise, not really much going on around the store. I mean, nothing really too crazy. And we got this picture construction going on. I don't know what's being. Do you have any idea what's being built?
Tommy's putting up a wall of the greatest hits, I guess. Random
Right.
pictures from our old past of old store working, Comic-Cons, things like that.
But like, what is going in there? Like, have you picked out any of the pictures?
I haven't picked out any. This is a completely Tom
I know what that is.
operation.
I mean, what are the pictures? What are the qualifications for getting in on these pictures? Like, is there a certain qualification? Does it have to be somebody? Does it have to be a certain time period or a certain event? Like, there's quite a few pictures going on that wall. At least 15, 20.
I will be quite interested to see his final
The
product.
first one is
there.
like Boater's Forza car
Yeah.
from like 10 years ago.
That was pretty cool.
Kind of. I don't know, with the name that we don't speak about on the side of the car.
There's also Bat Dan. There's
Yep,
another
an
picture.
old comic drawing of Dan.
Bad Dan. Good old story from there. I mean, I'm intrigued to see what happens. I like the idea of it. I'm intrigued to see what happens. I just don't know where he's going to get 15, 20 pictures from and what the qualifications are for getting on these pictures.
Like I said, once we see the full spread of it, it'll be a lot easier to tell
But the thing's been under construction for like 2 weeks. It's
what
about time we
algorithm
finish
he's
up with
using.
it.
It's taking quite a bit of time.
It's outrageous.
Takes him like an hour to drill it, and he's like,
You gotta sit down and read on his phone for like 20 minutes. And get back. Can't we just put up like 8 at a time, Tom, and be done with it?
gotta trust the process, I guess.
I guess. Other than that, really nothing going on around here in the studio. I mean, we've been doing some upgrades. We talked about getting a big TV in the lobby, bigger than the one that we have now. I like to start watching movies in there. Are you? I mean,
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah.
that 55-inch TV is not really doing it. It's small.
It's a big TV, but it's on like a 120-inch wall.
Right. Blank wall, by the way.
Yeah.
There's nothing else around it, and it's the wall is outlined. It's a black border, and it's a whole purple wall in the middle with a TV. It needs to be a big TV.
It's time.
Maybe a sound bar underneath.
That having some huge fucking surround sound system in there, blowing people away when they walk by. Not
It would
bad.
fill out the area a little bit.
Tom said that furniture is not comfortable. I don't know what he's talking about. First off, we didn't pay for that furniture. We got it from the mall, and I would say it's relatively comfortable for not paying for furniture.
And say all you'd have to do is roll these bad boys over if you got.
Yeah, these aren't really all that comfortable though when you're watching a movie.
I've been enjoying these chairs. You kick your feet up, and that's a whole nother experience.
Yeah, I would say that chair is the most comfortable chair.
That one is. That's got years of broken inness.
And you can lean right back and you go right back. Dave doesn't understand how to use that chair.
It did almost kill us all a couple times.
Yeah.
Dave go back, and I think Dave's almost took a tumble like 8 times now. Am I wrong? I think he does not like that chair.
When you sit in it, it does want to flop back as hard as it can.
You gotta know how to use it. It's been around a long time. That's like a $250 chair. They still sell that chair. I saw it at Staples like 2 weeks ago.
If you have to take the time to master sitting in a chair, is it worth it?
It's some philosophy for you, Dan.
So what are you saying? You're saying it's not worth sitting in there?
Well, I've fallen on it before. It's a comfy
You
chair.
took a tumble on it?
I have in the old store.
Oh boy.
What were you doing? Were you leaning back playing?
Yeah, I was leaning back on the old computer setup, and then it just came out from under me.
It happens. I've almost gone down a few times. Or I lean back.
I've had one where you got the squeaky feet trying to save yourself, but
It happens to the best of us in that chair, but I've seen some people go down on it. It's not always pretty.
I did knock Tom over on it once, I think. He
Did
was
it
sitting
happen?
there running
It was
his
like right
lips.
over here, wasn't it? Well, no, I went down over here. Remember Tom pulled me?
You got you
pulled the whole
too,
chair?
yeah.
He's like, oh shit. Oh, you think, Tom?
I say he almost banged the back of his head. Never want to see that. Maybe with Dan.
Not really. But all right, so we had the Danny NASCAR, the unveiling of the point system yesterday. Not bad, not bad. The full standings went out earlier today. Steve and myself are in the top 10 in points.
Oh no! Lately, I've been getting exposed for my subpar racing skills, so I'm gonna have to step it up.
Mike has found himself in a battle with a few people, and has gotten himself into a rivalry with one guy pretty good. And he's calling Mike out in chat.
I didn't do anything to him ever on purpose. He's annoyed by my, I guess, lack of skill at the game. But hey, sometimes I do well.
You can sell yourself on that you speak the truth, and he's a little. I mean, I like him. I think he's great.
Hey, he's watching our show. He's a
watcher.
yeah.
But he keeps calling Mike my sidekick. Dan will never get rid of him. He's his sidekick. I mean, he definitely doesn't mince the words.
I don't have problems with a lot of people. This guy though has definitely got a target on me.
And it's one of those things where the initial contact between him and Mike started like 3 weeks ago. We all kind of thought it was dead. And then out of the blue, he just started taking shots at Mike last night.
And this time, I didn't even know what car he was driving, so maybe I bumped into him, but I don't think I bumped into him. I think once he starts getting crashed, he identifies the people that stink in the lobby.
Well, the one racer, John Will, used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
John Will, another great racer, but he had a tremendous. But let me tell you, when you're having bad luck in the game, when you're having a bad night, you have a bad night, and it happens. Like, there is no like you race good, race bad, race good. Like when you're having a bad night, you're having a 2 weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. I think it was last week. I just had an awful night. Like, I just could not get any luck whatsoever. I was crashing left and right. It was just awful.
I was getting crashed super hard by you too. I hopped on, I was feeling good, I had a good race, got a good lap finish, starting 14th, and as soon as it starts, Dan just pulls down and puts me into the wall, spins me out. I'm starting at 29th, never recovered in standings from that.
Oh my God. If you go back and look at the replay, the car above me comes down and knocks me right down to the bottom of the track. There's nothing I can
This
do.
is right after he unveiled his new point system for earning the 24 scale Planter's Peanut car.
It was the first points race of the night.
So
Mike had a good starting position, and hey, that stuff happens.
the
Nothing I can do
intensity
about
instantly clicked up in the lobby.
It really did. You know, it really did pick up.
And
And people are like, now you don't. I mean, I'll be honest with you, if you're in the battle for the point, you don't want to miss a night of racing now.
yeah, that is true.
I mean, let's say you missed last night. if let's say you didn't race like some people are just like, oh, what's going Danny Nascar? What's going on with the points? How do we get in? Because they didn't watch it, and they weren't racing, and they're already 77 points behind the leader. I mean, you can catch up pretty quick.
No.
Wait till we start dropping the 50-point bombs with the question. Oh, hey, who won this? 50 points. You know what I mean? We'll have some fun with that.
It's a pretty close battle from 8th on back, though, within 23 points of each other.
We may do a thing like everyone in the top 10 gets a die cast, too. You know, we can do a lot of cool different stuff where I don't think people should be like, oh, I only got 12 points, I'm out of it, no point. Like, you should still kind of keep racing.
No.
I think we'll do certain prizes for all the top 10.
You could always get your die cast as well if you're low on points and you just want to
Right.
get your die cast
Right.
with
I
your
didn't
win.
notice a lot of people were taking the points to the die cast last night. Wait till the good die cast start coming in, and then people have to start making some serious decisions.
Yeah.
I propose an amendment. If you get 100 points, you can exchange that for a 164 scale diecast. So for the people that
But
Don't-
if people, okay, but let me throw this back at you. If people aren't gonna pick a die cast over 10 points, you think they're gonna sell 100 points for die cast?
that's for people you don't have to win. Once you get up to 100 points, for people that
That's
say
fair.
don't
Yeah.
think they could make it to the 500 first, they could still get a
So for
Exchange
example,
it.
when I'm just shooting out a name, let's say Kool-Aid,
yeah.
who I know has won, so I know he has he's won die. Let's say he can't win, and he already has like 15 points now. He can eventually hit 100 and collect a die cast.
But it'll reset.
I've always
after
thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, I actually, but I agree. You know what? I agree. I think the die cast. I think the points should once you use your points, you lose them.
Oh yeah.
Right. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe
I have a couple, sub prizes like an arcade. You can cash your tickets out now if you so desire.
We could do that. We could do like a point system like that where you can use your points to buy this, and this, or throw out a special. You know,
Is there only one Planner's Peanut car though?
two.
All right,
Danny
two.
NASCAR's got to have one for himself, obviously. I mean,
So the big prize is the 500, the Planner's Peanut, but there's sure to be some prizes
well, I
out
think that's
there.
what too. But we can also do it. Whoever gets 500 can pick out the 124 scale car of their choice, but it's got to be like the normal 2021. It can't be like some diecast that's worth like $500.
Yeah.
It's got to be the normal. It's a normal $57.99 diecast. You know.
Yeah.
Or less.
Right, or less if we can get it. I mean,
I want this rare.
I want it. It's only $30, but I want this rare 1997 Dale Earnhardt car. Like when I go looking for, all over the place looking for stuff.
But I think the whole point system is a cool way to get the people that aren't necessarily winning some points and some prizes. So.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's generating a lot of interest already. We posted the scenes on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I already had a couple people comment. Discord, a bunch of people were commenting on it. A lot of people were like, "Hey, how do we get back in there? How do we get in this? Like, just race. All you gotta do is race.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is race. You get in the top 10, you get a point." Well, no, I like that. We could have done like the winner gets 3, top 5 gets, anyone in the top 5 gets 2, and anyone in the top 6 to 10 gets 1 point. But no, I like the 1 through 10.
That works out well, so you're rewarding the people for their stance basically in the top 10.
Does work out well. But yeah, so that's going good. I don't know. I can't read my notes. Release dates. I was gonna put down for that. NASCAR stuff. Release dates. I don't even know what I put on my own notes.
I think we discussed that last time.
No, there's something else. Oh, the NASCAR did release the day after we talked about it on the show. But NASCAR Ignition coming out now after we went on our little rant last week. They must have been watching.
I like that name actually.
What?
Ignition.
NASCAR 21 Ignition.
I like the one that Steve suggested the other
If
day.
it's just NASCAR Ignition,
No,
kind of like Heat.
and they went
I
with
like
that.
Or NASCAR Ignition 21. Not NASCAR 21 Ignition.
Kind of like how it used to be with like Thunder 2003 and 4.
Classic games.
Oh yeah. There.
Oh yeah, indeed. Speaking of stupid names, Call of Duty Vanguard.
It is a pretty simple name. It's like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
So basically, it's gonna be a year not playing Call of Duty. Because they're not gonna have a burst gun. It's gonna be stupid.
I've always been dominant at the World War II one.
Like, stop.
Dominant.
Stop. You couldn't handle the M1 Grand in World War.
I pretty much made them quit because they're so used to being good at Call of Duty. The saltiness was so real that Mike was on top of the Call of Duty leaderboards.
The greatest Call of Duty player to ever walk into this store. Okay, hands down. There's no.
That's not true.
You may have the few little the little peons that come in every once in a while. You know, like Jerem Dog with only good at Call of Duty Ghost.
Maybe when we were in the small pond, you might have been good.
At one game, but like I'm a staple in every Call of Duty game.
I mean, first of all, even in our small circle, Tom is better than you, and then once you get everybody from the network involved, I'd say AC Wheezy's better than you. The Brothers in Arms are better than you. Who else? OC5, absolutely.
What are you nodding for? What's Steve nodding for?
And I would say Dave. Dave better than you as well. I've seen him get some solid dubs with the boys.
Now, Dave was supposed to have a challenge when he won, and he did not show. He lost that challenge.
Might be time to get that down at some point. But
I am the greatest player in Call of Duty to come through this store.
That's just off the top of my head. People better than you. Probably Dr. Wiley and myself as well.
I'm not a Call of Duty player. I'm not good at that.
But
better stick to the NASCAR
Call of Duty
track.
Vanguard, a little bit questionable. I'm not quite sure what the deal is with that. Isn't one already? What's called Vanguard already? Is there something called Vanguard already?
It's a word that pops up in Destiny. I know that.
No, the game that says Vanguard.
Looks like he's gonna have to. It might just be one called Vanguard. I can't remember.
Is Medal of Honor Vanguard one?
Yeah.
Is that
There's
one?
definitely a Medal of Honor Vanguard. I wasn't sure you were going that old with it.
That's what I'm thinking. There's a game that has Vanguard in it.
Yep.
And it's definitely a PlayStation 2 title. I can kind of picture it in my head. Yes, I mean, I think that game doesn't seem exciting at all to me. So, speaking of exciting, did anyone hear about the new Taco Bell?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
I mean, let's be honest here. Okay, no one's ever thought of that until now. A
What?
double-story
restaurant
where you have drive-through like a bank. You know how many cars? First off, based off of the way I read it, Taco Bell's gonna have like 5-6 lanes, and people are gonna go. And they drop the tacos right down, and you're gonna pick them right up. So they're gonna have like 5 stations. Cooking your food. You can have 40 cars in line at one time there.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. You can have 40 cars in line and not even half the space what they're using right now for a full line.
It'll be killer. Cut down on that waiting time quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
McDonald's has never thought about this.
They kind of do with their 2 lanes, but that's only for the ordering part.
Fucking outrageous having the taco come down.
They better land softly and not explode all my nacho cheese.
We have a bank outside of the mall that just kind of left over near Rite Aid and Target. That would be a good spot for.
They've been redoing it though. They're redoing that space. They've been painting it and doing work on the inside, so there might be something going in there. But speaking of Taco Bell, I would love to go get Taco Bell. There's always a line. Is it not? The one in Queensbury is outrageous.
No, yeah, the one in Queensbury is good luck if you're going.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Like I go by and it is just like.
That is the biggest problem with Taco Bell right now.
I
mean,
even Wendy's.
Not a lot of people are going to go in and eat inside of Taco Bell, so.
Yeah.
Once in a while. Once in a while.
They just redid the whole thing. Now it's like, so a lot of these restaurants now are nice to go sit in. Like McDonald's. It's actually nice to go sit in McDonald's now.
When's the last time you sat down at McDonald's and ate?
But are the McDonald's not nice when you walk in?
I would say that they're actually pretty nice inside.
They're pretty nice. The McDonald's in our area, though, are very like... Now you know you gotta wear a mask every time you go in one now?
Do you?
18 and 19 you do. It's kind of weird.
Is that the only place that's making us do that around here?
I walked in the other day to get soda and maybe put a mask on. Which is, I mean, they're right. I mean, it's just like, I was like,
Better safe than
do I even
sorry.
have one in the car?
I mean, if you... So I know they've been doing, like, the Excelsior Pass and shit on phones to, like, scan in your vaccination cards. So they should just mandate that more so you don't have to carry the physical card around. Get it scanned, go right in.
Well, you
Don't
kinda
need a
have it
mask.
now, right?
Yeah.
I have mine on one of those QR codes now. You just scan it and then it validates the code.
Mhm.
Or validates or they show us on the day I have a vaccination card. So, I mean, I don't think you should do that. But they're saying even theirs was like they want everyone to no matter what, which was fine. But then when I walked in, they're like, "Oh, masks, sir." I'm just like, okay. I mean, I had no idea. But yeah, that's pretty cool for Taco Bell. Hopefully, we'll start seeing those. I think early 2022 is what I read.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's right around the corner.
Cool.
pretty interesting. All right, we'll talk a little fantasy football for a minute. We don't talk about fantasy football too often here, but we do have a league here that I guess has some of the people in the store: Tommy, Mike, Austin, Tyler.
Yeah.
So we got some people in the channel. So we did a survey, and I got the results. I'm gonna go over the official results right here on behind the counter of what we voted on for the draft and the draft order and the fees and the waiver system. So for the draft order, we have the normal draft where the computer automatically selects, or Tom's little sprint where you put all those little men in and they sprint to the end. What do you think won?
The sprint.
The sprint.
Yeah.
8-2.
I wonder who voted the
It's
other
a
one.
12-man, so it's a 12-man league. We have 2 new people in the league, but they're not allowed to vote because only people who were in the league last year are allowed to vote. Okay, so 8-2. The next question was the entry fee of the tournament, $100, or increasing it to $150 or $200. What do you think won?
Did it get increased to 150?
Nope.
100?
Tied, 5-5. So it automatically reverts back down to the $100. So you can't
Fair
change
enough.
it if it doesn't. If they're not allowed to overrule it, you can't change
No.
it. The next question was how many teams make the playoffs? So normal. I think the 2 questions were 4 teams or 6 teams. What do you think won that?
6 teams.
6 teams, 7-3. The next question was the waiver system. So the they called it FBA. The
FAB, I think.
FAB waiver system, which is like you get a certain amount of money for the season
Mhm.
to buy people off of waivers, or you can do the rankings, which is like the default system. So once you use yours, you drop back down to the end of the line. So if you're ranked number 1, you use your waiver, you drop down to 12. What do you think won that one?
Definitely FAB, but I was the only... Wasn't...
8-2.
Oh, someone else voted the other one?
Must be.
I was the only one, I think, that voted default, but... Someone else
8-2 FAB waiver system, beating them out 8-2. So there you go. That is the beginning of the fantasy talk here behind the counter with the new league settings and what the league voted on. So we got 2 new people coming in up to 12, I'm sure. Now, so fantasy football gets discussed on No Look Podcast, The Dream Team, and Behind the Counter. And maybe once or twice. Once the season gets into full gear on Sunday nights and Danny NASCAR's going, I'm sure there could be some swearing as I'm watching the game and doing Danny NASCAR at the same time. Motherfucker! Get in the end zone here!
I'm sure there will. I'm sure there will be.
So I'm sure there'll be some fantasy football talk on Danny NASCAR both Monday and Sunday
They got that
night.
Sunday night game, yep.
So, but, all right, well, just about it for the show. It's about 6 o'clock. You guys have anything else to go over?
No, I got
Nope.
nothing.
All right, guys.
Oh, I do have one thing.
What?
Roval or oval for Indy? I'm gonna expand it out to chat.
The Roval.
Roval, Mike.
Roval? I don't know the difference between the 2.
Like how the race went yesterday compared to the regular oval. What do you think should come back next year?
I like the way it is now.
So Roval.
Yep.
I agree.
There you go. We'll have to ask that question during Day in NASCAR. See what people like.
Mhm.
See if we get a poll going for it. But all right, so that's gonna be it here for Behind the Counter. Actually, all three of us are back Day in NASCAR tonight, 9 o'clock here at Instant Games TV, followed by Monday Night Gaming with AC Weezy. So we are not done here for the night. So make sure you stick around. Other than that, Behind the Counter is out. We'll be back next week right here on Instant Games TV. Adios.
Adios.